Good news, everybody. Back with the friendly Sealed League. This time I wanted to give a chance to reevaluate and reconstruct my deck, just because the original black-red deck was not doing what I expected it to do. So there's a couple ways that we could go. We could go black, white, or white, red, green. But I think the mana base is a little bit too shaky and red isn't deep enough to make it. So I might stick with black, but throw in blue instead. A black-blue deck could also be a possibility, but I don't think it's as strong as some of the blue that I have. So let's see what this looks like. The Deadeye tracker still looks good. The booter is quite nice. The Seeker Squire is fine. It's not amazing, but it's functional. The Knave is good enough. I'm definitely a fan of the Sky March. Vanquish the Weak. The Interlopers might just be too weak. And the Cutthroats aren't amazing, but maybe they're a filler. Contract Killing is definitely worth it. Dire Fleet Ravager is still really nice. And Deathless Ancient is really good. Looking at the green, the Drover of the Mighty is definitely good. The Dryad is definitely good. Crushing Canopy is a sideboard card. And I'll toss in a few of the new Horizons. Between the Dryad and the Horizons, that could be quite a bit of mana ramp, depending on what we have a payoff for. I'm not sure if we need a third one in there. I'm not a fan of Emergent Growth, though it might be something that we throw in. Jade Guardian should be serviceable, especially because we do have some of these other token creators. Sadly, we don't have something to give it evasion, but at least it'll be a pretty solid beater if we use it with the new Horizons, or a few other things. The Whiptails are definitely good. The Sailback is a nice trick for everything that we have going on. The Thundering Spineback is really good. And that leaves us with 20 cards still to play around with. Or with 3 cards, depending on how much mana we want to toss into this. So there's a case to be made to try to splash in Lightning Strike, which I think we might try to do, just because we have a ton of ramp for it, which definitely helps. A lot of these others, while I would like to have them, I don't think they're quite worth it in the red, just because their costs are a little too much. We probably can keep the Raging Swordtooth in. It's not amazing, but it's another serviceable dino, which helps with the drovers, which is just good. And maybe we'll get the Enrage with the Snapping Sailback just to make it a little bit bigger. It's unlikely, but it's a possibility. So that leaves us with one more card that we can toss in here. I'm not the biggest fan of going giant for the Brontodon. Tempted for it. The Sun's Avatar would be nice, but I don't think there's a chance that I'll get triple white to splash it. And the other removal is good, but also difficult. And I don't really feel like spreading to 4 colors, even though the Hammer Skull would be really nice. And the Brontodon's 8 mana for a 9/9 just isn't exciting to me. So I might toss in the Phantom Fleet Cutthroat. It's unlikely that I'll have 9 mana to play that and the Raging Swordtooth. but it is a possibility. Um, and for this I might just toss in one mountain, just so I have that laying around with all of the mana, and the rest leave it green and black. I'll probably give a little bit more of a focus on I think on the green than the black. Or I'll just go even with both of them. That's not ideal, but it's kind of split between the double mana costs and everything else that we need for this. So I think that looks like a solid game here. I don't have enough pirates, I think, to completely warrant the pirates cutlass. But that might actually be a little bit better than the cutthroat. And I do have the two cheaper pirates, so it might be able to auto-equip. The cutlass into the freebooter would be pretty cool. And then it makes some of the other dinos and some of the other things just a little bit better, like with the Sky March, if I do equip it on there. Or if I toss it on the Jade Guardian. Yeah, I think I might do that instead. So check back in a little bit to see how the